Mommy Misato gang, and myself from the past, doing a little bit of an interview and talking about their history in speedrunning, as well as their feelings going into the main event relay to decide who is the best Vortaliani team on the planet. Um, anyway, we're going to head off to that intermission and stick with us here.
See ya.
Hey, what's going on, Spyrothon? Welcome back to the interview section of the show. Today, I have the Mommy Misato gang on board with a bit of a different team lineup, replacing Kamek, allegedly somebody who might have beat them over the head with their capture card, might have stole their spot on the team here. We have Composer.
You didn't hear
White
that from me, though.
Paws. I didn't hear from anybody. And I have Nuke 47 as well. We're going to go through and ask you guys some questions, but really quickly, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, let the people know who you are, go right on ahead.
Yeah, sure. I'm Composer. I started with Spyro 2, and that's what I'm going to be running here today, but I've moved on to the other 3 Spyro games as well, and now kind of consider myself a trilogy runner.
Nice. Nuke, how about you, bro?
I'm Nuke. I play once every 3 months. That's about it. Started with Spyro 1, and I have run the other games. Not as much, though.
Gotcha. Awesome. White Paws, I know that you have a bit of a history, maybe compared to everyone here in this call with the series, so.
Well, I'm a washed crash speedrunner who sometimes does Spyro and mostly does cute indie games like Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah. It's a good game. These guys are an excellent collection of speedrunners to go up against Team Allura launchers here in the finals of the Vortaliani tournament type thing we had going on the Spyrothon channel. And I think it's going to be a great race. So first and foremost, I want to ask all of you guys, how long have you been running your current game / category that you're going to be doing here in the relay? So for you, Nuke, it's going to be Vortex. Composer, it's going to be 14 Tally. White Paws, it's going to be Spyro 3. But Composer, how do you feel going into this 14 Tally leg?
Yeah, it's interesting for me because when I started with any percent in Spyro 2 and played Vortex for about half a year before I ever touched 14 Talisman. And by the time I got to that category, I was really excited about trick categories and grinded it quite hard. So I'm excited to be demonstrating it. It's my kind of like, I consider Spyro 2 my home game. It feels very home to me.
That's fair. And you're definitely very good at it. I've been in calls with you countless times, watching you practice, learning the skill set, everything you need to really do. And I'm pretty confident you're going to put together a great showing at Spyrothon 8 here. Nuke, how about you with Vortex?
So I believe I started Vortex May of 2021, but I had been playing 120 for a little bit beforehand. I think that was in November of 2020 that I had started.
Days ago?
Yeah, pretty much.
A couple days ago.
Yeah. I haven't been running that long. But I started Vortex in May 2021, played for a solid 2.5 months, and now I play every other year.
It's some good consistency. I mean, it definitely lends itself. I don't think you give yourself enough credit. You definitely do play the game a decent amount more. If you didn't, then you wouldn't have as good a time as you do and as much consistency as you really do in the category. So I think you need to give yourself a little bit more credit there, brother.
I never said I was worse than anyone. I just don't play.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I think you still have more consistency than what you're saying. You definitely don't play every day, but you definitely do play more than once a month. I see you, bro. I see you out here grinding. Give yourself a big credit. Pat yourself in the back. White Paws, how about you with Spyro 3?
So I had to go to SRCom because I honestly don't remember when I started. I feel actually so old. I started with 117. I do remember that. According to SRCom, I started 2016. 117. That was late 2016, and then moved to any percent because I remember I learned 117 exclusively for Splash Vecta. But then did any percent the year after that, so 2017. Gotcha. I mean, it's been a very on and off category for me, just like a lot of categories that I run, in general, but throughout the years, just been lowering the time little by little to the 27 that I have right now.
Yeah, and when I get my sub 30, you're gonna go for that 25, as we agreed
Yeah,
on in
obviously, no.
DMs.
No, it's gonna be edited.
Yeah, I know you have a very long, arduous history with the category and like kind of with Spyro and speedrunning in general, which I think out of all of the runners in the final here, you're actually the most like seasoned in your category in terms of just pure time overall playing the category since, basically it was still growing into what it is today. So I'm definitely interested in your like also Spyro 3, of course. It has my
Yeah,
heart.
I remember when the 80% record, like when Grant had it, and
Oh my
JT was
God.
trying to take it back.
That's crazy. That was a couple days ago, right? That was
Just a
few
couple of days
weeks
ago.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next question. Regarding all of your individual paths, you'll have different journeys to getting to where you are in your individual categories. But I want to ask you, where do you think that journey is going to end? Where do you think you want to see yourself? What is your ultimate goal in the category that you're currently running? Meaning the one that we're doing here for Vortalieni.
Yeah, for me, my end goal, and let me rephrase my insight to end goal for 14 Talisman is at least a 23. You never know where a category might take you. I definitely didn't know with many of the categories I read now, but my insight end goal for 14 Talisman is a 23.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. It's a good time. You're definitely capable of it. Like I said, I've seen you grind the category. I've seen you do practice, and like how to like buff those things out and get yourself to the point where that consistency is there, and you can get that time. So I'm very confident you get to a 23. How about you, Nuke? What are your long-term goals with Vortex?
Vortex, it's been on again, off again with wanting to play the category, but if I could, I'd like to get a 20-minute time. Not even like a good one, just 20:59, and I'd be good. Preferably with my next PB.
It's fair. Where's your PB at right now? Like 21,
22:07.
22:07. You can definitely get there. I'd say you can jump the whole 21. Who needs it?
That's really what I've been saying the past few months. I'm going to skip the 21. I'm going to do it, and that'll be my legacy.
Absolutely. It's a good legacy to have. White Paws, how about you? What's your ultimate goal with 3NE beyond after I get my sub 30 and you decide to come back and go for that 21 in 3NE?
And yeah, 21, you just said it. I'm kidding. So right now I haven't been really focusing too much in Spyro. Like I've been mostly focusing in Ori, trying to get top 10 in all skills there. But I don't know. When it comes to Spyro, I've been taking it like a lot more chill. I'm just like trying to improve little by little. So I don't really have an end goal. I just want to play and PvE until I get like tired, I guess. Yeah. So that's what it is.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I definitely think that's something that a lot of speedrunners can like resonate with, is just that idea of wanting to do something, kind of have a good time with it, and see where it goes. You don't always have to have like this grandiose goal of I'm gonna get the record someday, or I'm going to get this super cool goal time to prove that I'm one of the best. It can just be about self-improvement, having a good time with the game. And I definitely see that through your gameplay whenever I'm in your streams. Like you're just chilling, you're having a good time almost always. And that's the important thing. At the end of the day, this is a hobby. It's a game. It's for fun. So I definitely respect that. However, if we're on the topic of talking about different speedrunners, obviously new speedrunners kind of come into the mix a bit all the time. So I want you guys each individually to pitch me exactly what is so good about the category you're running here, and why should a new runner pick it up compared to another category. I want you guys to do this kind of speedrun style. I'm going to give you 30 seconds apiece. If you go over it, I'm just going to like kind of buzz you and you can keep going if you want to keep explaining. But we're going to try to do it in 30 seconds or less. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, Composer, you're up first. 14 Talisman. Tell me
All
why.
right. All right, look, Spyro 2 is the most visually stunning of the trilogy, in my opinion. Not only does it have double jump, which means you can get out of bounds basically anywhere, you're going to be launching up into the air from proxies, which is getting into the hitbox of an enemy, and you'll go flying. You're going to be doing sproters, which is going to make you go on walls in ways where you just stay on them and gain height. Just watch the speedrun during Spyrothon, and you'll see why it's such a visually impressive speedrun.
Gotcha. You clocked in at about 26 seconds there. White pause. I mean, Nuke, it's up. You're up with Vortex.
All right. So a new runner, I feel like a lot of people would enjoy not only Vortex, but a lot of the categories being shown here just for like how short they are. Because like with other categories like 120, you have to spend at least 2 hours on your first run, and that's a big time commitment. With Vortex, it would be like 30 minutes or less. Plus, like the amount of like variety of tricks is really cool. So like you'd be doing a whole variety of things instead of just like proxies and sproters. Not to bash Composer.
SMH.
All right, you clocked in at about 28 seconds there. White pause. It's your go.
All right, so Spyro 3 any percent, just like I know a lot of the other categories here, is very, very trick heavy. It allows for a very high skill ceiling too, and a lot of improvement that you can do while just playing the game and trying to get these tricks. And it's just a very satisfying category to run in general. And yeah, that's it. I think it's high skill ceiling. It's hard to get into, but yeah.
And that one was about, give or take, 26 seconds as well. So you and Composer tying out the top there. Nuke a few seconds behind, but overall some quick answers. And honestly, some good answers too. I think you guys all touched the main intentions with these categories. They're trick categories. They're really interesting in the sense of you have all of these cool different movement options across the trilogy. As Composer said, you have double jumping. As Nuke said, you actually have, or actually Nuke, you didn't mention it really, but you have charge gliding as a primary mechanic.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of different things you can do.
Yeah. There's just a myriad of options across the trilogy, and that's what makes each of the games individually so interesting. But when you see them all together in a relay or a Vortex, it just makes it that much cooler, in my opinion. It really exacerbates all the cool features of those categories and showcase them in a great way. So the last question I have for you guys is, this is something that I want you guys just to kind of open up with. How do you feel about your opposition, the Allura launchers? What are you going to do to them in this final? Is there any smack talk you want to drop here or anything you want to say to the people in attendance here today at Spyrothon? And you want to make sure you put your stake in the sand. You let people know, like, yeah, we're winning. How do you guys want to present that?
I got one thing to say. I had to beat another runner over the head with a CD case and their capture card just to get here to ensure that we win.
Which the CD case. Yeah, this is an easy win. Easy.
What about you, Nuke?
I'm a winner, so I'm not going to lose. That's it.
Yeah, I have no proofs, but also no doubts that we will winning this.
That's absolutely fair. And there's nothing wrong with just purely being confident. You guys are all absolutely stellar runners in your individual categories. I mean, Nuke, you're top 20 in Vortex. Composer, you're up there in 14 Tally. I think you're top 20 as well around there. White Paws, I think you're in roughly the same area. And not to mention, you guys have some insane consistency on your side. Like, I've seen you all do runs of the categories that you're doing here in the relay, and you're really consistent at getting very solid to good times. So I think this grand final is going to show some people really what the limits of these categories are by some of the best runners we really have in the whole community. And I'm super excited to see you guys there. For those watching this interview right now, we're going to have that towards the tail end of the schedule. Check it out on the actual schedule. If you do !schedule, I just said schedule like 7 times in the Twitch chat. It will show you all the runs we have coming up and when that Vortex relay race is going to be. My name is DylanJayFox, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Spyrothon. Bye-bye.